from a 10th grade stumble to 13,000 crore rupees. The story of Rakesh Chopdar's Azad Engineering. Inside a Hyderabad factory in the dead of night, the faint sound of a CNC machine was running. Outside, the world was sleeping, but inside, a man was seeing his entire future in a small piece of metal. At one time, a 10th grade stumble stood right in front of this man. People had assumed that if education stopped, the paths ahead would stop too. The fear was that life would now be limited to just a small job. But the real fear was not in the mark sheet. The real fear was in an industry where even a mistake of 1 micron could put multi-crore engines, aircraft and defense systems at risk. The curiosity starts right here. How does a school dropout boy build an engineering company of that level, whose parts reach the massive global aerospace and energy supply chains? This story is not about an overnight miracle. This is the story of Rakesh Chopdar, who did not make the lack of a degree an excuse, but instead made machines, hard work, and the market his real classroom. According to Azad Engineering's official founder profile, Rakesh Chopdar is a high school dropout and started working in his father's workshop at the age of 16. That very hands-on learning shaped his understanding of manufacturing. Parts like fasteners, nuts and bolts were made in his father's small workshop. From the outside, this work looked ordinary, but inside, every thread, every cut and every finish demanded discipline. Rakesh started reading machines instead of books. Which tool runs how metal behaves under heat, and how a small mistake ruins the final product. People's taunts were not easy. When a child falls behind in an exam, society stamps a label on their future. The same happened with Rakesh. But he took a different decision. Instead of defining himself by marks, he started defining himself by skill. This very decision was going to change his entire story down the line. For almost several years, he worked at the ground level in the family business. There he learned that in manufacturing, simply making a product is not enough. Earning the customer's trust is far more difficult. If even a small part is not repeatedly made with the same quality, a big client does not come back. This very repeatability is the real test of any precision company. The big turning point in the story came when a foreign buyer showed a complex part that was not easy to make. It was an aerofoil-like component, where both shape and surface are extremely critical. An aerofoil is no ordinary piece of iron. Such parts work in turbine and engine systems where airflow, strength and balance together determine performance. Rakesh did not look at that challenge as a fear, but as an opportunity. He knew that if this part was successfully made, the world would not look at them as just a small supplier. Many attempts were made, many corrections were done, and standing near the machine, dimensions were checked all over again. This was the phase where patience itself was the capital. When the sample reached the customer and turned out close to the quality expectations, Rakesh understood that high-precision global parts could be made from India too. Just the standard had to be global. In the year 2008, he started giving a new direction to Azad Engineering. It was a small setup in Hyderabad, resources were limited, but the thinking was way ahead of the local market. The name Azad was also symbolic. This was not just the name of the company, it was the idea of freedom from limitations. Education can stop, but learning must not stop. In the beginning, there was a CNC machine, a small shop floor, and limited orders. But Rakesh's focus was that the company should be recognized not by doing cheap work, but by doing difficult work. The time of 2008 was not easy. The impact of the global financial crisis was felt across the world. But during the crisis, many big players became cautious, and a gap opened up for small but hungry manufacturers. Rakesh understood this very gap. He focused on those parts that were difficult to make, where changing a supplier was not easy, and where the qualification process was long. Today, Azad Engineering manufactures mission-critical components for the aerospace, defense, energy and oil and gas sectors. The company describes itself as a trusted precision manufacturer for global OEMs. In these industries, accuracy is more important than speed. A blade, a ring, an actuator part or a hydraulic component can be tied to the safety of the final machine. This is where Rakesh's thinking stood out. Instead of entering the crowd of commodity parts, he bet on manufacturing involving complex geometries, special materials and tight tolerances. Such clients do not place orders simply by looking at the price. They look at the supplier's machines, process control, documentation, testing, certifications and delivery history. Trust is built over years, not months. According to the 2025 annual report, Azad had a portfolio of more than 1,700 qualified parts and 45 specialized manufacturing processes. This very entry barrier became the company's major strength. The company's reach also gradually went outside India. In the annual report, international markets were stated to be up to 17 countries, and the contribution of exports looks very large. Market cap changes every day, but in recent public market data, Azad Engineering was shown to be around 16,000 crore rupees. In December 2023, the company got listed on the stock market. The story of a small machine shop suddenly came into the eyes of investors, analysts and the media. Even the investment story of a big name like Sachin Tendulkar came into the discussion, where the stake value was reported to have multiplied several times after the public listing. But it would be wrong to limit this story just to valuation. The real story is not about the share price, but about that invisible hard work that kept happening on the factory floor for years. In precision manufacturing, there is less glamour and more grind. Here, what is more important than a product launch is the passing of inspection reports, machine calibration, and customer audits. Rakesh had understood that India has talent, but to win global trust, process discipline is required. Without discipline, no Make in India story can last for long. This very discipline also earned Azad a place in the defense space. The company informed the stock exchanges about an end-to-end manufacturing and assembly contract for the advanced turbo gas generator engine with GRT, DRDO. This milestone was big because a propulsion system is an extremely sensitive part of any defense capability. ET government also reported this as an advanced turbo engine contract for GRT DRDO defense programs. On the energy side as well, Azad signed a $53.5 million long-term supply contract with GE Vernova's steam power services business, in which the supply of complex airfoils was reported. The company's global relevance in aerospace also grew. Reuters reported a long-term aircraft engine components agreement with Pratt & Whitney Canada in November 2025. In the 2025 annual report, the company's order book was stated to be 6,080 crore rupees, which included long-term contracts. This tells a story of future execution visibility, not just past success. Still, it would be a mistake to mistake market cap for cash. Valuation is an expectation of the investors, but the factory has to prove itself every day with machines, people, quality and delivery. In Azad's revenue mix, energy and oil and gas remained a major share, while aerospace and defense appeared as rapidly growing segments. This diversification protects the company from single-sector dependency. There was a time when Rakesh was learning by looking at small parts. Today, that same thinking has reached the supply chain of global turbines, aircraft platforms and defense engines. This is also a symbol of India's manufacturing story. Earlier, we often used to hear about the compulsion to import critical components. Now, Indian companies are making a place for themselves in qualification-based global supply chains. But this journey is not easy. Approval cycles in aerospace and defense are long. No client places an order just out of patriotic feelings. They trust after looking at proof, process and performance. Rakesh's story is not against education. Education is valuable, but this story shows that if a person learning outside the classroom is disciplined, they can become an expert. The machine taught him patience. Metal taught him resistance. The customer taught him accountability. And failure taught him that the beginning can be bad but not the end. When society considered him weak, he did not waste his energy in complaining. He chose the exact place where work speaks every day, and there is no room for excuses. A founder mindset does not just mean a big dream. It means correcting even a small mistake upon seeing it, respecting even a small order and speaking through processes even in front of a big client. Global customers want repeatability. If a good part is made today and a bad one tomorrow, the trust is gone. Therefore, Azad's real strength lay in building a system more than just the machine. His father's workshop gave Rakesh the ground reality. There he saw that business is not just profit, it is also reputation. Once trust is broken, getting a new customer is difficult. An industrial ecosystem like Hyderabad also gave him a manufacturing base. Skilled workers, suppliers, tool rooms, and an engineering culture helped give this journey a practical shape. As the company grew, it did not remain the story of Rakesh alone. Engineers, operators, quality teams, finance teams, and supply chain people together gave scale to this vision. The certification and audit culture turned the company from a local workshop into a global supplier. This is that invisible bridge that turns a small manufacturing unit into a critical industry partner. Capacity expansion was also necessary. When global clients give long-term contracts, just a promise is not enough. Machines, facilities, working capital, and trained manpower have to be increased hand in hand. The stock market gave visibility to Azad, but after listing, the pressure also increased. Now public eyes remain on the numbers, margins, orders and execution every quarter. Rakesh Chopdar's image becomes distinct precisely because he has come out of shop floor reality, not a polished degree story. His confidence was built on the production floor before the presentation room. There are challenges in the path ahead too. Risks like high valuation, execution pressure, receivables, global demand cycles, and customer concentration are serious for any fast-growing precision company. Competition will also increase. As the scope of aerospace and defense manufacturing grows in India, more companies will enter this space. But an early qualification advantage can be very valuable. The lesson of this story is not to leave education. The real lesson is do not stop learning after a failure. Because in the world of skills, consistency is no less than any degree. The boy who was silent in front of the marksheet in the hook is the one talking in the world of microns today. The only difference was that he did not let the machine of his life shut down. Now the eye is on the future. The company had stated that it plans to start the first batch delivery of fully integrated turbo engines for GTRE in early 2026. If this execution remains successful, Azad Engineering could become a big name in the Indian manufacturing story with propulsion systems capability, not just a components company. The story does not end here. The real question now is whether a founder who came out of a 10th grade stumble will be able to take India even higher on the global precision manufacturing map.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.